Okay, so let me know if that is back. If you're joining us and you're not familiar, what happened was we were streaming and I went to play a clip and the clip didn't work. And there we go. Audio works, says PK. Yeah. I don't know. I went to play a clip. Somebody was asking me about the streamer Destiny. So let me speak to that. So basically, yeah, I know that he's a progressive left guy. I was saying that I'm the most progressive guy, but cool, but all I really know about him is that. And then somebody said, somebody on the Discord today put up a video or a tweet about this woman who had reached out to him and said, hey, I want to date you again, or let's have sex again. And he was just like, oh, I'm kind of focused on career, blah, blah, blah. And so people were asking, and I was like, well, what's the big deal? Like, what? So my answer to your question about Destiny, the streamer, I know of him. I don't know if I've ever watched any of his content, but I do know who he is. I know he had gotten to some shit about a year ago. I heard a lot about, oh no, did you hear what he said? Like he fucked himself over, but I guess not too bad. And so I don't really know. When you ask me, what do I know about Destiny? I don't know if he's in the news today. And if he is, what's going on with him? It's really not in my wheelhouse, but I'm open to learning. If you want to share, listen to this. Mysterious 1800-year-old silver amulet discovered in Germany, 1800 years old. Could rewrite the history of Christianity in Europe. The last time somebody read it was 1800 years ago, when Christianity was regarded as a cult. Now, isn't it still? Now, scientists have finally deciphered the Frankfurt silver inscription. This is from Daily Mail, an 18-line engraving on a thin piece of foil, housed in a protective amulet. Measuring, it's a small thing. 1800-year silver amulet was found with the skeleton of a man at a burial site in Germany. Let's see what it says. The text represents the oldest evidence of Christianity north of the Alps, dating back to between 230 and 270 years after Christ died. Christianity was still spreading over Europe from its historical origin of Judea in the Middle East. The Latin text makes references to the Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, as well as Saint Titus, an early missionary leader. Here's the full translation, never before read by 21st century humans until today. I'm giving this to you. This is my gift to you. You know what I'm saying? Here you go. Where's the, oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. I want to show you some pictures. This is, let me share this. Share screen. I love this shit. Look at this shit. This is it. The digital scan of the thin foil carrying the holy inscription. This is the dead body, obviously, that had it with it when it was buried. It was positioned under the man's chin. Experts think he once wore it on a cord around his neck to protect him into the afterlife. The main religions at the time were Judaism and paganism, and it was a risk to reveal oneself as Christian. I want to see what the text said. He got a bunch of people to come together, help us translate this. And it says, come on now, here it is. I shall now read it to you. You don't see anything. Oh yeah. Shut up. Here you go. This is the text. This will change your life or curse you. In the name of Saint Titus, holy, 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 in the name of Jesus Christ, Son of the Lord of the world, resist with strengths. These things are in parentheses, are things they're not quite sure they have the translations. Resist with strengths all attacks and setbacks. The gods grant entry to well-being. May this means of salvation protect the man who surrenders himself to the will of the Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, since before Jesus every knee bows, those in heaven, those on earth, and those under the earth, every tongue confesses Jesus Christ. 1,800 years since man read that. Imagine what else is buried down there. But this was one of the first Christians. Well, that's not true, but there's one of the first Christians north of the Alps proving that the religion was spreading. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? I think it's neat. We can't why can't, oh my God, why can't these random funds be by some dude just writing stuff down on stone? Fines? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they could, but in this case, it's because he buried himself with it. I'm not saying, well, you guys know what I think about religion. I'm not saying it's true, but I think the archaeology of it's really cool. And I will say that that's one of the cool things about the new Indiana Jones game that I love, which is, it's a puzzle game, and there's a part in the game, and it's not going to spoil anything, where you are having to, quote, translate an ancient language, which apparently is I'm not going to tell you what it is. Really cool idea. And it's cool. It's what got me into, layperson's interest in archaeology when I was a kid. I think most kids went through an archaeology phase because of Indy, at least for my generation. But after that, I loved it. I love seeing stuff like this. Really, really interesting. But I don't really believe in it. And I don't know if you've seen this site, and I'm not here to make fun of people. Well, that's not true. But I'm not here to mock on you if you like the religion. But even if you really love religion, you have to have seen the site Christian Nightmares, and you have to enjoy it, I assume. They basically cherry pick awful things about Christianity, and it's just, the people out there that are really pushing it. Well, here's a great one.
Donald, baby, stick some MAGA under the tree for me. I've been an awful good girl, Donald, baby, so hurry to the White House tonight. Donald, baby, elections that were fair and were true, not blue. We've been voting for you, Donald, baby, so hurry to the White House tonight.
I'm sorry, I just think people like this are fucking idiots. But let me show you some really good ones. That was pretty good, though. Christian nationalist calls Vic Ramaswamy and gripes. No, I want to read that. Let me find one that's good. There's some real. I don't know. You guys watch this site? It's really good. Carbon monoxide. This is from textbooks that I guess Christian kids use. Carbon monoxide is as invisible and dangerous as is Satan, it says. And then if you read here, it says electricity is a mystery. This is from the archives, Christian fourth grade textbooks for Bob Jones University. Electricity is a mystery. No one has ever observed it or heard it or felt it. We can see and hear and feel only what electricity does. We know that it makes light bulbs shine, blah, blah, blah. We cannot even say where it comes from. Some think that the sun may be the source. Others think the movement of the earth. All anyone knows is it seems to be everywhere. How would you have to change the way you get ready for school if you did not use electricity? We know electricity is not a mystery. Let's check this guy.
Season a little. Sometimes he will leave you in a season a little longer, and you'll think that he's being slow. But what you call his slowness is actually his love, because his slowness, as you perceive it, is his steadiness to prepare you by his sovereignty for something that your eyes cannot see.
Do you realize it is... are you kidding me? You can't hear me? Are you fucking with me? Are you fucking with me? Tell me this guy's fucking with me. The video is low. Okay, I'll turn it up. I'll turn it up. Okay. Let me turn up the video for you, fellas.
Take their minds off those presidents or anything that we...
All right, let me get the video louder for you. You can hear me. Can you hear the audio though? Can you hear the audio?
Can do, especially on Christmas morning, that'll take their minds off those presents for a while.
One thing that just immediately comes to mind, because we do this first thing Christmas morning, is a birthday party for Jesus. The blood of Jesus Christ, his son. Now let's sing happy birthday to Jesus. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jesus. Happy birthday to you. And now we can blow out the candles and eat the cake.
I mean, explain this to me and explain why I hate it so much, or I find it so joyful to watch and mock. Seriously, psychoanalyze me. What is it about this kind of content that makes me just think this is the most delightfully horrific stuff out there? Merry Christmas. Are you offended? No, I'm not. I'm not. Look at this one.
Pretty exciting that I work with a lot of gay and transgender people. Is it wrong to be friends with them? Okay, first of all, I think it's pretty exciting that you're working with a lot of people who are confused and are struggling with their identity. What a great opportunity for you to minister to them. Should you be friends with them? Absolutely. You should be friends with all kinds of sinners. Anybody that doesn't follow God, anybody that's confused, be friends with them. See, here's the thing. When it comes to dealing with these issues, our goal is not to win the argument. Our goal is to win the person.
Okay, it's a good point. Gravedigger says it allows you to feel intellectually superior and stroke your ego and pride. It's a good point. It's a good point. Throw up the other app, Libs of TikTok, because that's kind of the opposite. Okay, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's do that. Absolutely. It's a very, very, very good point. And again, I am, if not open-minded, right? And I think that's a good point. I mean, really, it seriously is, because there's no doubt that this guy does probably not represent the vast majority of Christians, nor do the ladies who were making pancakes for Jesus. But I think you could do that. I think you could absolutely go down the wrong hole there and think, oh, this is representative. Let's look at Libs of TikTok. Libs of TikTok. I assume that's still on this channel. I'm aware of it, but I've never really watched it. Libs of TikTok, but good. This one, is this the one? Comic Coalition. Am I watching the right thing? Yeah, it's fascinating, says Lewis. It shows how we have the ability to rationalize anything. Spectrum says, I mean, people got mad at me because I was saying beforehand when you made games like God of War and Twisted, they were good, but now your takes and opinions, they wouldn't be good. I mean, to me, they're good. I'm not seeking your approval or anyone's approval. Okay, is this the one? Is this Libs of TikTok? It's called Libs of TikTok, but then it says at Comic Coalition. So, Jaffe is a non-believer. Yes, I'm a non-believer. I don't believe in your version of God. I'm sorry. I don't care. I don't want to. I don't want to know him. I don't want to know that I'm loved by him. I don't care. It means nothing to me. Do I believe something's out there? Maybe, but not what you guys are selling. Okay, well, if somebody wants to send me some Libs of TikTok shit that'll make me go, okay, I get the other side. But I think it's a great point you bring up, though. It's a great point you bring up about Christian National or Christian Nightmare. I think that's a great point. Speaking of, listen to this. Scrooge you. To avoid post-holiday election fights, many young adults are skipping the holidays. I get it. I'm glad our family's not that way. I'm glad, I'm glad my family's not that way. But as the dust settles, blah, blah, blah. A recent survey by American Psychological Association reveals a telling portrait. More than 7 in 10 adults, 72%, hope to sidestep political discussions during holiday get-togethers, with 2 in 5 people saying they'll even avoid family members to avoid conflicts. The results highlight a generational divide in how people approach potentially divisive family interactions. Younger adults are more likely to dodge family gatherings. 23% of seniors over 65 plan to avoid. That number jumps to 45% of adults 18 to 34. Like, get me out of here. I'm not going to hang out with my family this Christmas because of politics. This suggests younger generations are less willing to tolerate political disagreements within family circles. 1/3 of adults are reporting being more stressed about the nation's future, and another third feel less stressed. Interestingly, these experiencing increased stress were more likely to want to avoid political discussion. Despite the tension, there's a silver lining. An overwhelming 83% of respondents agree that the holidays should be a time to set aside political differences. Kind of. You know, kind of. Because, end of the day, a lot of the people are right, when it's like, hey, you voted for somebody that wants to take away my rights. If you believe that, and I believe that, but not everybody does, and that's fair. So I don't know what to tell you, but I'm glad that our family, my father-in-law is a pretty conservative guy, but he obviously, loves his grandkids, his granddaughter, his grandson. Call him whenever you want. But it's gotta be interesting. I don't want you to try to, talk to me about God. I don't care. God knows where I am if he wants to find me. That's all I'll say. Unless you got some great new evidence, then we're all in. Where do I sign up? Look at this guy. OpenAI whistleblower found dead in San Francisco apartment. Look, this is the shit, man. And I get it. Listen, I struggle with this one. Now, apparently it's by suicide, but doesn't sound like he was suicidal. Like he had posted something the day before about, hey, reach out to me to, see if you want to run this tweet and stuff if you're in the media, because he was going to testify. He was a whistleblower against OpenAI and ethically some of the things they were doing, blah, blah, blah. And did they have him killed? That's the rumor. That's the speculation. Is it true? I don't fucking know. Probably. Young guy. 20 something. Here's this dude. Where is he? 26 years old, found dead. Police have been called one day after receiving a call, or 1 p.m. that day receiving a call. Currently no evidence of foul play. He was expected to play a key part in lawsuits against the San Francisco-based company. His death comes 3 months after he publicly accused OpenAI of violating U.S. copyright law while developing ChatGPT. There's no call-in link. Oh God, Ember, what do you want to talk about? Why do we have to talk about? Fine, I'll put it up there. I will talk to you. I like taking calls, but if you're just going to call and try to debate God with me, I don't care. But sure, if you find it interesting or the stream finds it interesting, I'm more than happy to talk to you. But come on, give me something new. Give me something. The audience needs to be entertained. God damn it, you work for them. There you go. There's the link. But anyway, this guy, look, I don't know if he was killed or not, but it wouldn't surprise me if the guy was killed. Because it makes all the fucking sense in all the fucking world. That, even the government, man, we are in a position, we are in a place where if the Russians or if the Chinese especially get ahead of us in AI, a lot more people are going to suffer, at least if you believe in the American ethics versus the Chinese ethics, which I do. Right. Gabriel's absolutely right, which is putting up limitations with AI will only make someone like China the AI superpower. But then you end up in that sort of very difficult discussion, which is, should we let America fall because it was living by its values, which means we're not going to kill people for speaking out, or is that just lip service and what we tell people to keep them feeling like they have control? But fundamentally, you goddamn right, we're going to put bullets in brains of people that get in the way of our ability to remain our superpower status. I think that's really kind of what we're fucking talking about here. And so if it turned out this guy was killed, I would buy it. Just like that book I read, the 9/11 book, and the guy was killed 2 weeks after it was published. But apparently it was a suicide, and his whole family, he killed his family, his dog, and then he killed himself. 2 weeks after the book that pretty much used to fly Air America, like drugs in and out of South America for the government, weapons and stuff, Contra Iran, all that shit. And so, you know, he had connections. He knew where a lot of bodies were, and he wrote this book. He self-published it, and then he was dead 2 weeks later with his whole family. So, you know, my guess is that that's what's going down with this guy too. Okay, AI has already run its course. Time to cash out. It's not about that, man. AI has not run its course. It may have run its course for your ability to do something with that you like, although I don't think that's the case for most people. But I absolutely will tell you that no, AI has absolutely not run its course. AI will change the world. And I don't mean like you'll get your groceries in a different way. I mean, it will change the layout of the world in the same way that oil has. It is
Ember's Arcade joined.
an absolute, panty shaker. 100%. 100%. All right, here we go. Ember's Arcade. What's going on, buddy? Please tell me you've called in with something interesting and something new and something relevant. Go. Ember. Are you there, my little Ember? All religious, if you remember. He believes in the God, but he is... Writing's hard. All right, Ember, well, you're on if you want to talk. Okay. Have you tried Gemini 2.0 Flash Live features? I wasn't aware, Charles Darwin, that we were able to play with it yet. Is that something that's actually out in the world for us to fuck around with? I thought it was just sort of behind closed doors at the moment. X takes. Hello, buddy. Okay, Ember, you're on, but I don't know where you're at, baby co. Baby co. I was going to say baby cause, but you're baby. I'm going to call you baby co from now on. Oh yeah, quantum computing. What Google said recently, their new quantum computer. I mean, that shit's batshit. The amount it said it solved in 10 minutes a mathematical problem that a computer of today that's not quantum would be able to solve. It would take longer than the existence of the known universe to solve, and this solved it in 10 minutes. That would be something. Stoner Joe, you can call back into. I think we have all the mics working. In the meantime, I just want to share some very brief drone news. I don't know, man. I know that there was one sec. I know that there was some people over the weekend kind of saying it's just all airplanes. What are you guys talking about? But then today there were a bunch of military bases got closed down. What do we got? We got mystery drone shut down Ohio Air Force Base. Extreme caution. So I'm sorry if this is getting really weird, man. Let me talk to Ember if he works now. Maybe you should pray to make your mic work, Ember. And then I want to talk to you about these drones. Not a lot, because we covered drones a lot Saturday night, but there are a couple breaking newses here. Come on now. Ember, it's Jaffe. Hello. What's going on? You have my full attention. I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. Wait.
Thank God. I prayed and it worked.
Thank you, God. All right. What's up, buddy?
Well, okay, there were a couple of things. One is a little lighthearted. And
hang on. I just want to make sure you're not too loud. Is he blowing out your eardrums, you guys, or is that just me? Is that Gabriel blowing his horn, Ember? Is that what I'm hearing?
What?
You're really loud.
Am I really loud?
But it may just be me. I want to make sure the audience can hear you, and it's not a problem. If you guys are fine in the audience, we'll keep going with Ember for a little bit.
That I'm good.
Okay, so, then let's go. Ember, what do you want to talk about?
I had two things, so I wanted you to pick. One is a little heavier, one is a little bit lighter.
Yeah, go.
The heavier one is about abortion, and I would love to talk to you about that. But I don't know if
that's what's the other one?
And the other one was about Intergalactic, about Naughty Dog's new game. And I do like to play video games, and I do like to
give me the thesis for both.
Okay, so I mostly just wanted to have a debate with you about what I imagine your stance is on abortion, and then the second one being that I wrote an essay about the sort of like the anti-woke people who are making $45 per video on trying to capitalize on that character, that main character. But I do think that there's a case to be made about why people might dislike that character that isn't like cavemen commentary. You know,
Well, why don't you save that? Because I did put up like a 20-minute video last night about it. And if you want to call into Gavin and Games, which is all gameplay, that'll be later today. I'm happy to talk about it there. So why don't we briefly, if we can do it briefly. In fact, I'm going to set a timer. In fact, chat, set a timer for, I'll do it. Set timer for 6 minutes. Okay, go,
awesome.
go.
Well, first of all, tell me what you think about abortion. We talked about it a little bit before, and we didn't get a chance to get into it. So tell me, like, where do you stand on this?
I think it's fun. I think it's great. I think everyone should do it at least once.
Okay, so tell me what you really think.
I think that it's a really sad, tragic thing, but I think sometimes that sad, tragic thing does not outweigh the sad, tragic thing that would happen if the baby is born, or at least attempts to be born. So I am very much a fan of leaving it up to the woman and leaving it up to the doctor. And frankly, if Christians are so goddamn excited about blocking abortion, you know what a better solution would be? And I would pay for it with my taxes. I think a lot of people on the left would, is to get men, what's it called? A vasectomy. So if you're 18, go get a vasectomy. We'll pay for it. It can be reversed. And then that way you can't get anyone pregnant anyway until you're ready. And then when you're ready, you can go get everything done again at the taxpayer's cost. And it solves the problem both ways. Women don't have to. Go ahead.
You're going to roll your eyes at this. You're going to roll your eyes, but I think it seems like a little bit like a less invasive solution to maybe enshrine the sexual act to marriage, right? That would solve the problem.
Well, I already solved it. I just solved it for you. What's the problem?
I don't know about men being
Why?
Compelled by law to get. Well, it's invasive.
Women are compelled. You're controlling women's bodies by law. Why can't we at least
How about we do it?
How about we do it every year? How about every 5 years? Well, let me finish. Every 5 years. Every 5 years. Let's do 5 years. It's men's responsibility, and then it goes to women. Then it goes to men. Then it goes to women. We share.
So
we
before
share
we
the
start
responsibility.
slinging around the talking points that you got on Now This on Facebook.
Are you serious? I just came up with that. I don't even know what Now This is. Do you think I go to Facebook?
Let's break the, I mean, you seem like the type, but let's break this down a little bit. Okay. So what about the baby, right? What rights does the baby get afforded?
Depends when we're talking. How far along? I think most people on the left, even though there's a lot of lies out there that, you know, I like how people are like, oh, the left wants you to have an abortion after the baby's born. It's like, sir, that's called murder. No one's looking for babies to be aborted, you know, once you're talking about a real clear conscious being at 7, 8, 9 months. But I do think most people would say that between awareness of pregnancy and I would have to look, but let's say the average, whatever the average, let me Google it now so we can at least be on the same page.
Can I slightly make your
one moment?
Hey,
no, I don't want you to make anything. Let me.
I'm on a timer here. I gotta move quick.
We're both on the timer. Hang on.
Listen.
No, if you speak, it will take longer. I have to Google something. Hang on.
What are you Googling? Are you Googling?
Oh my God, shut the fuck up. Hang on. Abortion.
I'm just asking.
I'm trying to type it. Abortion. How long average American okay with? I don't fucking know. And it says, okay. How many months is safe for an abortion? The time limit. So I would say an abortion in the US, most people support like up to 5 months, it sounds like. So whatever that is, whatever the women want is what I would say.
So why 5 months? Why do you think that?
Because I'm assuming within that certain amount of time, there is an assumption that life or the baby's life is not sophisticated enough to be at the same level of value of the life of a conscious adult woman.
Okay, interesting. So value changes based on, I'll use the word viability. Would you use the word viability?
I don't know. I have no idea. I would say value changes based on how much of the human experience that is being had that we consider as a society of value. Let's put it that way.
Of value. Okay. So you believe in human rights, correct? You've said so yourself.
I do.
Now, human rights have to be universal in order for them to function at all. And I think personally
they do not have to be universal in order for them to function at all. That's a blanket statement that really means nothing. Every law is going to have cracks in it that are going to be exploited intentionally and affect people unintentionally. So no, every human rights law does not have to be universal in order for it to exist. There's a lot of things that are good for us in terms of law, but it still sucks, and people get unfairly affected by them.
I mean, that's a crazy thing to say, but all right, we'll move on from that.
There are facts to show you. Do you think that the drug laws have been fair to everyone? No, but I think on the whole,
wait. What do you think human rights are?
What do I think human rights are? I think,
remember we did this before. Yeah. I asked you to name all the human rights, and you said something like,
"Well, there's not there." Well, yeah, there are. If you're talking about laws, or are you talking about just sort of the philosophical concept of human rights?
You said yourself that human rights are not written; that they're man defined. Those are the words that you use.
Yes,
about human
you're
rights.
not. Yes, and I'll use them again. You're not. What's the point? Yes, I agree.
The point is that how does human rights as an idea function if it doesn't apply universally? For example, do you think that
because
people have a human right not to be murdered, for example? Let's say that.
No, I don't. I don't think humans have a right not to be murdered. I don't think in a society that is supposed to be a civilized society, humans should be murdered. But do they have like a fundamental right that comes from the ether? No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay, well, at what point is it murder to kill an unborn baby? You believe that murder is a thing that can happen, right? You believe that murder.
I think if the mother or the father or anyone decides to basically murder a baby out of cruelty to the baby, it's a bad thing. Absolutely. I think if the baby is
economic reasons, which is the most common reason that people get abortions.
I think it depends on how far along the mom is. You're not going to convince me. Here's the deal. Is it bad? Yes. I'm not trying to say let's have a party and celebrate abortions and do them on live streams and donate for the most pain you can cause the baby with the coat hanger. It's a terrible thing.
But
most women
and justify why you.
I'm justifying it. What I'm saying is, in the same way that we can look at those dogs at the beginning of the stream that were found by the cops in the back of the garbage truck that were being sent to be eaten, and people in our society go, "Oh my God, that's horrible," but we don't think twice about taking a cow or a chicken and cutting its throat and using it for meat, because we, for whatever reason, have imprinted on the dog more value than we have on the cow. Hang on.
Whatever reason is 60,000 years of cohabitation with this creature. It's ancestral. It's genetic. That's why.
Well, it's not genetic. It's evolution for the dog. The dogs have, regardless though, the point is there are probably reasons at a genetic level or at a evolutionary level that there's a point where something that looks human becomes much harder to kill than something that looks like a clump of cells.
Well,
but this is the problem with. I'm going to hang up on you because you're not arguing good faith. You're not allowing.
What are you talking about? I'm not arguing good faith.
You're not allowing me to say. You don't. What I'm telling you is, I have ADD. The real challenge for people with ADD is I know where you're going. Can we just jump to the point? The point is, correct me if I'm wrong, that you're trying to basically say, how can I make a judgment over which life is more valuable than which other life? Correct?
That's a component of the larger argument.
Just jump to the end of this argument. I don't need all the setup.
I need to help you walk with me because you were just telling me about not interrupting you, right? So listen, I'm trying to walk with you so that you can understand that even you would argue on my side if you would open your mind.
Okay.
You said that you're very open-minded.
I am open-minded, but I also
you're not open-minded. You're not. You just told me. You just said not 60 seconds ago that you're not going to convince me.
Hang on. Stoner Joe.
Yeah.
Do I kick this guy or let him keep going? Your call.
Crap. Talking about abortion.
Yeah, but he's
one key topic for like 30 seconds.
So what? Say it again.
Speak about one key topic for 30 seconds.
So let him do abortion for 30 seconds?
30 seconds, yeah.
All right, Ember Arcade, go.
Jaffe, I'm not here to preach. I'm here to talk with
you. Go, 30 seconds, go. Stoner Joe's giving...
Answer this question. When does life begin?
Who knows? Who knows what is life? No clue.
You have to be able to define that if you can differentiate when a thing is killed or when it is not killed based on
I don't have to do anything. I don't have a problem. I'm telling you, I don't know when life begins. I don't know what life is. Life is a conceptual philosophical concept. We don't even know. You can have a dead body, and doctors are now saying that cells only do certain things after the brain has died. There is life after death for certain cells in the brain, we've discovered this year. So to ask me when does life begin is such a basic question for a brain as smart as mine, that I think what you are struggling with, I think what you are struggling with is this idea that you're trying to put like kindergarten-based philosophy into a discussion that's meant for big boys.
Jaffe, I'm putting kindergarten-based philosophy because that's the best you can understand. You barely crack 3-digit IQ. Come on, man. I'm trying to walk with you here. I'm trying.
I don't want your help, because you have. Here's why help is valuable. If I'm in a burning building, I value staying alive. Here comes Ember's arcade. He's going to pull me out of the building. I want your help. If I am choking in a restaurant and you know the Heimlich maneuver, here comes Ember's arcade. I want your help. You have this weird belief that I need or want you. I want you on my show right now for entertainment for the audience. When I see the number of people watching begin to go down, or Stoner Joe has had enough, and when Stoner Joe has had enough, you know he's the canary in the coal mine for the audience. So if you can't convince the audience that you're worth staying on, that's all. I'm not looking to be saved, baby.
I'm not looking to entertain. I'm looking to have a conversation with you.
This is a show.
Your numbers have gone up, David Jaffe. Your numbers have gone up, have they not? You had barely 100 viewers.
Yes, you're not going. Well,
ago.
that's because I killed the show and came back.
I'm doing my job.
As long as the numbers stay up, you're on. Keep going.
Listen to me. Would I help you in a burning bush, or not burning bush, in a burning building with your philosophy? I can't even define whether or not you're alive, and therefore I can't define whether or not your life has value. So probably not. It doesn't matter either way, right?
Not a problem. I don't care. Keep going.
That's hilarious. Of course you do. Of course.
Please get to your point about abortion.
When does life begin, Jaffe?
I don't know what life is, so I can't answer your stupid question.
You're being obtuse on purpose, because you know that you have to define.
Tell me I'm answering honestly. I don't have. Look, if you could convince me, Ember, if God
I can't convince you. You said yourself, I can't convince you. You said it yourself. God. I'm not going to be able to convince you.
I can't do it. I'm going to hang up.
Well, then don't do it. Yeah.
Goodbye.
We'll try again next time.
Well, maybe we will. But here's the thing. You're leaving a real bad taste in my mouth, because what you're doing is not actually having a conversation.
I'm trying to have a conversation.
Okay, so answer one question at a time. When I say to you, I don't know what life is, I don't know what you mean. You need to phrase it with a little bit more nuance. Are you saying are a bunch of cells called a baby alive? By some definition, sure. But do I think that life has more value to me in terms of my definition of what is valuable than someone that is a fully conscious being walking around the planet? I would say no. So when you say, when does life begin? I need more nuance. And I'm not trying to evade or avoid the question. I'm trying to get you to be more specific so I can be genuine with you when I give you an answer.
When is a person capable of being murdered? When do they qualify as a living thing that can be unjustly killed?
It's the same answer. I don't know what that means. If I think the being is a sufficient life, then I would say if you murder it, then you go.
You just said, if I think
Stoner Joe, I can only handle so much crazy at a time,
Jaffe,
buddy.
Listen to me.
Settle. Give me a minute. Let me deal with Ember.
You weren't paying attention to me.
You're on camera. I can see you. We can all see you.
You just said, if I think it's a sufficient life. Those are the words that you use. So you have a metric that you're obscuring for some reason, because you don't want to have to talk about.
All right, let me ask the chat. Chat, did I just say to Ember, when he says, when does a life begin, I need more semantics?
I don't know what that means. Is
oh my God. I'm gonna mute you for a minute. Did I just ask him, when does life begin? And I said to him, it depends on how you define it. Because are you talking about a clump of cells that do meet certain definitions of life, or are you talking about a person walking around? And now what he's saying to me is, I'm trying to avoid the conversation. And I'm like, no, because if you told me you can pull this trigger and you can take away the essence of what life is in this 5-year-old, or you can pull this trigger and take away the essence in the clump of cells that does match certain definitions of life, I would every day, unless I had data like the clump of cells is going to become Taylor Swift, I would say, get the clump of cells out of here every fucking day of the week. Right?
Clump of cells.
There you go. Ember, that's my answer.
You are a clump of cells.
A small Ember. Oh my. Okay, I'm muting him again. I'm muting you again. 1 second. I'm muting you again.
This is insane. Human rights are about.
Okay, I muted him again. So yes, I am a clump of cells, but my clump of cells has resulted in something that I have more value on than a clump of cells that, just like a cow, like you guys were saying, it's a cow or it's an ant we step on. It doesn't have the same value to me as clump of cells that I call fully formed humans or children or little tiny babies that are maybe still in the mom. Go ahead, Ember.
I don't even know how to talk to you, man. This is insane.
I'm muting you again. I'm muting you again. I'm letting you go. There he goes. He's off. Stoner Joe. And by the way, if you want to talk to Ember, let me know. I'll bring him back on in the future, but I can't deal with this. It's like, I need actual conversation. Let's put it this way. Stoner Joe is has been seen by doctors. You officially have schizophrenia, correct?
Kinda.
Okay. Stoner Joe makes more sense to me than Ember's Arcade. Stoner Joe literally thinks he's responsible for the Trump assassination attempt, and he thinks his image is in the back of the King Charles portrait. Okay. And this guy sitting here smoking a cigarette wearing Ninja Turtle pants makes more sense to me than the guy who just called it. Stoner Joe, go. What do you want to talk about, buddy?
Stoner Joe is the cartoon face, man.
I understand. Oh, you're the human behind the cartoon face, but it's really about the cartoon face.
Yeah, but you're saying I'm in. Yeah, I'm saying I'm in the
King
Charles portrait. No,
what do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about, Stoner Joe? Go.
If you saw Stoner Joe in the portrait.
I did not. I did not. I don't think any of your assumptions about what you've done to the universe are real.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the Discord messages.
Yes.
Did you not see the outline? Did you see that one?
No.
No.
I don't listen. Here's what I can tell you. Here's what I can tell you. I believe that the way we see the world, and not even believe, science has proven the way we see the world with the limited senses that we have is limited. And there are clearly things that other animals, maybe even plants, would be able to discern. And I think potentially there is a race of creatures out there somewhere, or potentially that would be able to actually look at all of the points, like Paul Atreides when he does the spice, and go, I can see the ramifications and permutations of every decision. So do I think there could be people, and you may be one of them, that is able to, I don't think you're doing that, but I think you can somehow, maybe you're dialed in for whatever reason to a little bit more or a little bit of a different sense than quote normal people have, maybe. But that doesn't mean I believe that your drawings of scribbles, I certainly can't see what you see. So if you're going to keep calling and saying, do you see this? Do you see? I don't, man. And it doesn't mean you're wrong, but I don't have any evidence that you're right.
Well, okay. So I'm just going to say, if you do happen to upon the DMs or whatever, you're going to see Stoner Joe.
Okay. I can go to my DMs right now and I'll show the audience. You're telling me you've sent me DMs. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And in the DMs, what can the audience expect to see?
Oh, if you're starting from the bottom, scrolling up, you'll scroll up to see the cartoon face Stoner Joe. And then above that is the King Charles portrait. And then there's 5 different pictures showing the lines and where you'd see Stoner Joe.
Okay, so hang on. I'm going to put you on mute because there's an echo when I go to the other screen, and I'm going to show them what you're talking about. Okay, and then I'll be right back with you.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, so this is what Stoner Joe sent me, and he says to me, and here's this cartoon that he's talking about. This is the Stoner Joe cartoon. This is his avatar, right? And he's saying that if you look at the portrait, I mean, come on, Stoner Joe. He says, if you look at the portrait right here where he's circled it, you will see the Stoner Joe cartoon face. And then he kind of goes on to say, If you can't see it, I'll draw it for you. So then he kind of does the hair afro, and then he does this. And what I will say, Stoner Joe, is this to me seems much more like a case of um uh whatever, I forget what the medical term is, or the evolutionary term, where humans tend to see patterns and faces. Like I'll take a shower and I have like a section of my shower that's like this thing that looks like glass and woods, like trees and shit, and I'll see faces in the trees. But I don't really think there's faces in the trees. I think my brain is putting together a face. That's what I would say.
I thought you cut out there. Yeah, see, the problem is maybe in 2001,
Okay.
maybe when I was more, what is it? Not prolific, prominent.
Okay.
With super chats and whatnot. I would think that you'd see the Stoner Joe face constantly, and then you go, "Oh, Stoner Joe," but I guess not. So I guess.
Whoa. You've said two things. You're asking me, when you were prolific with super chats, what does that have to do with Stoner Joe's face?
I was gonna say prominent. Well, because when you do super chats, it brings up the little icon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm very familiar with your icon. Yeah, but
that's what I mean.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
like you were saying, yeah, whatever cognitive. I have no idea.
It's called according to the Zeke, it's called pareidolia, is what it's called.
Yeah, I thought that would affect you, maybe. And then if it affected you, then it would affect multiple people, and I'd be world famous. But I guess not.
Do you want to be world famous?
No. Well, I made decisions based off being world famous, thinking
like
that
what?
I was responsible. Okay, hold on. What about is it the Perry High School shooting?
I don't. Tragically, there's so many of them. I couldn't tell you which one. But you're saying that you caused a shooting?
No, I guess it's whatever you were talking about, because there was a bunch of different cartoon faces, and then the anime girl turned to the left. I explained it, but I guess it's not.
What I will tell you, here's what I will tell you, Stoner Joe. Take this for what it is.
4 years of entertainment, but to hear you say that you don't see Stoner Joe on the King's Portrait, man.
Here's what here's what I wanted. Here's what I hope you hear.
It's not a waste of money, but oh my God.
It's not a waste of time, because here's what I want you to hear. Like, well, can I express my thought why I don't think it's a waste of time? So someone like Ember,
what are you gonna say it's a waste of time? What am I saying? Waste of time.
You're saying that all of this time being part of our community, and whether you're talking financial super chats or you're talking just sending images and your pictures and all that, is a waste of time because I don't see it, right?
Not that, yeah. Well, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, in terms, yeah.
And here's what I hope you hear. I'm not calling you crazy, right? I truly believe that the people who go around acting as if we know what's going on, and anyone that speaks out of box is somehow crazy or idiots, because there's a lot of shit we don't know about in terms of perception and senses. And you may be one of those guys. I genuinely don't know. But what I do know is I like you. I like that you're part of our community. I like that you're interesting. I like that you seem to sort of think for yourself where a lot of people don't. And so, no, I cannot offer you fellowship in going, I see the Stoner Joe cartoon, because I don't. But I do see a person who is pretty interesting, and I hope you take care of yourself.
Yeah. Oh no, it's a failure, dude. Damn.
Why would it be a failure?
1 out of 7 billion is not bad.
Right? 1 out of 7.
Because it doesn't accumulate, dude. Right? There's no.
But maybe the failure is that you're wrong, and then you just need to get okay with that and mourn it and let it go and move on to the next cool thing you're going to do in a nice way. Don't do a bad thing.
Yeah. I guess try to be famous.
Do you want to be famous? Because there's ways you could be famous. You're funny. You're charismatic. You're out of your fucking mind. People like you.
I don't have, how do I say, billions of dollars? You know
Okay,
what I
so you're
mean?
talking rich or you talking famous?
At this point, it has to be both. It has to be. It
Okay.
cannot not be.
So what are you doing to get famous and rich every day?
Well, I thought drawings and stuff. You know what I mean? I thought this all accumulated in it. If it doesn't
I mean,
reach
let me ask the audience. I mean, audience, you've seen Stoner Joe's stuff over the years. I've shared it with you. I've shared his notebook images and scribbles and stuff. I don't look at them and feel that they are somehow Nostradamusing what's going to happen. But if you guys do, let him know. Maybe he's connected with someone out there that isn't me, but his stuff does actually connect with people. Yeah, Moop says one of these men is insane. The other is Stoner Joe. Hey, again, I do not. I think people are really dicks to people in this society when they're different. Stoner Joe's cut from a different cloth, but that doesn't always make him wrong, and it doesn't make him bad, and it doesn't make him an enemy. We need people who see the world different, and I appreciate them. I just, don't want them to do anything dumb or bad.
Is there any other, how would I say, exiting questions?
Are you trying to back out of this conversation, Stoner Joe?
No, I'm saying anything you want to know over the past 4 years that wasn't answered or didn't come to a satisfying climax.
Be more
Do it for
specific.
your mom, I can't do it for you.
I would do it again.
What? No.
What?
So,
What?
you know what I mean? There's no climax.
I don't know what you
There's
mean.
no-
Can you be more specific about any other questions? I'm not sure what you mean.
Well, I mean, I don't know if there's just like anything you want to ask me.
What do
about
you
something.
think? Sure. What do you think you see in the world, or the way you see the world, that the average person does not?
I am so far out of touch with the average person that I can
Okay.
tell you if my thoughts are the exact same or totally different.
Okay, but
What
do you
average
think you have a
person-
ability in your drawings to predict the future or see the future before it happens?
No, I'm just really happy when it makes that connection.
Okay. I mean, have you ever tried something more structured, like remote viewing, to see if you actually have a mind that can perceive sort of things that are being
No.
hidden? Do you
Yeah,
think
no.
you should try it? You might be great at it.
Maybe it's controlled in the forearm, Maybe you
I
control
don't know. No
the
clue.
world. It's kind of bullcrap, and I don't like talking about people. I can astral project. I can see the fourth dimension. All time is happening at the exact same moment.
You don't believe that?
No, I don't.
Why? Okay, I get that astral projecting. I get maybe being bullshit. All of time happening at the exact same moment. My understanding is that's been physically proven or mathematically proven to be probable. Proven to be probable. You know what I'm saying? It's more and more evidence is suggesting that time is a biological construct of the brain, and time is not really a thing. You're saying that math is wrong?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna say that.
Okay, it's fair.
I mean, what do you remember about me randomly? Like just outside of the shootings, drawings, whatever.
I mean, I don't remember anything other than our relationship here. Are you saying you and I have had some sort of connection?
Out of that. No, I mean, out of the relationship, just one random thing.
I remember the first time you called in and I was worried about you and the chat was worried about you. I remember you sent me your Facebook link and you showed me all your scribbles, and I thought they were interesting and strange and disturbing and wonderful.
You write a number on the back of cigarettes, so they don't have to count them. What number is it?
Say it again. What are you asking me?
What number is on the back of this cigarette box?
Aren't there a lot of numbers? I assume there's a barcode. Is it a specific number you're looking at?
1 through 10.
4.
Or 12. Okay,
4.
no.
Okay.
It's 10. Now,
Okay.
did that exist before or after I asked you about the key thing you remember?
Did what exist? The box?
No. Did me asking you about the box exist before I asked you about the key thing you remember?
No, as far as I remember, but that's because I have a human brain.
Possibilities happen at all times too.
It may,
Time is in the walls.
maybe. I don't know. Stoner Joe, I listen, if somebody were to say to me when all this ends, we get the plug pulled and we wake up, or someone were to say to me, it's all a big drug trip that we've paid for. Cool. I don't know what's going on. Right. So when you ask me, I'm not the guy I'm an agnostic about existence itself. Okay. I don't know what is happening. So there are people out there, if you, just like with Ember, where he wants to kind of have his take, you know, he really needs this sort of rigid definition of things. If you need to run that by someone, I think that's probably quite healthy. But I don't think I'm the guy for it, because I'm not the guy to say this is what it is and what you see and it's real and you're crazy, you're not crazy. I think everybody doesn't know what the fuck is going on. And we're just trying to hold on to dear fucking life or death, because all of it makes no fucking sense. When you really stop to think about what is happening and what this experience is, you probably go out of your fucking mind, because none of it makes any fucking sense. We don't have the brain capacity to grok this experience. And so hopefully all I want is for us to survive long enough to evolve into a being that can get our heads around it.
Yeah, I don't know if we're that far off.
I hope not. I hope not. All right, buddy. Listen, thank you, Stoner Joe. I appreciate you calling in. Take care of yourself. Call back anytime. It's always nice to see you, buddy.
All right, man.
All right, man. There he goes, Stoner Joe, off into the evening. I consider myself a fan. But I hope he takes care of himself. I really, really do. All right. What else we got? I think we got some more stuff. When you realize you don't control things with your thoughts, and there's peace, says Scooser Boots. That's true. That's true. Oh my God, Ember Arcade, shut up. Are you starved for attention? Go to a meetup group, meetup.org, and find some people to debate with. What do you need, pal? Okay, listen. Let's talk about the drones real quick. Take a sip of the bubbly. Of course we love Stoner Joe here. Refurb says we love Stoner Joe here. Johnny says I'm a big Joe head now. He's great. The dude's awesome. I love Stoner Joe. I just want him to be okay. I don't, it's hard to know with that guy. Here's the link if you want it. So yeah, I mean, so the OpenAI guy, yeah, I think he was killed. I don't have any evidence of that, but I think the guy was killed. Because I think we're trying to beat China to the punch, and I think no one is immune to the government's desire to do that. Okay. But yeah, they shut down a military base, the drones. You've got people saying that now you've got like even Trump going, what did Trump say about the drones today? Where he said, hang on, I want to see this. He said something like, I mean, he's like, I'm not traveling with the drones, Trump drone. Hang on, let me go to that news story. Trump on mystery drones. The government knows what is happening. Something strange is going on. Look at our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right to the garage. They know where it came from and where it went. For some reason, they don't want to comment. This is Trump, right? This is the guy who's going to be the president, tragically, again in a couple of weeks. And he doesn't know, but he's concerned about them being around him. So, the drone thing's all over social media. I've never seen anything like it, says DeNova. Yeah. I mean, it's weird. It's fucking weird as fuck. And, the fact, at first what I thought, and I still, I thought that too. Roadkill says the drones are sniffing for radioactive material. That was always the thing that made the most sense to me, which is that, yeah, there's either it's a war game or it is some sort of dirty bomb or briefcase nuke that's been snuck into America, and they don't want to concern people. And they are basically doing all they can, which is why they're flying below 2,000 feet, because you can detect radioactive material from I think up to like half a mile, which is the same thing, basically like 1.5 1,500 feet. Yeah. So it makes the most sense to me. But then you've got people like Trump. I mean, unless all of these government agents, these mayors, all these people are read in, and it's like, look, guys, and maybe they are. Maybe they're like, look, there is a nuke, and it has a very likely chance of going off in this country. And if you guys, we need you to play this up. Say you don't know. Say you're upset. Say you want to have hearings, because we need you to sell this that we don't know. Because us saying we don't know, as scary as that is nowhere near as scary as saying there's a good probability we're going to lose a city on Christmas Day because we have no clue where this material is. But you got to assume that these guys are all playing and reading the script. And hell, they go on the Sunday shows on the left and the right. They do their script. So why would this be any different? So maybe that is still the most likely. Maybe it's still the most likely. I don't know what that means. Scoozer Boot says they all have blinking official collision lights. Tells me all I need to know. I'm not suggesting they're UFOs or alien ships, but they might be. But yeah, it's very interesting. Okay, let me see. I want to go to this real quick. I want to go to, here's something here. Now, again, everybody's putting up shit on the internet, and who the fuck knows, man. But this I did think was pretty cool footage, whatever it is. Maybe it's just people jumping out of a fucking airplane with flares, but this was in Jersey, and you see this drone or whatever this is dropping things, dropping, like spawning other drones or whatever. And then they kind of vanish. Maybe they're, but skydiving with flares, usually you see like a long trail. But then watch what happens. Then this light, this speck starts to go towards this thing up here. And watch what happens to it. And then it just blows up. It explodes. Right? Weird. Fucking weird. It's not that I'm a skydiving specialist. I've just seen the footage. Why is this so hard to talk about? There are people who thought they were seeing weird lines being dropped by drones in the sky, and it turned out it wasn't that. It was the Air Force doing drops into the desert in Arizona, I think, with flares, and it looked really creepy at night because you had no idea what you were looking at. But anyway, yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I have no idea what it is. But my guess is, I mean, don't you think isn't the most likely the radiation or looking for radioactive materials and looking for a nuke? I mean, doesn't that track more than any other thing you've heard? Because M. Villa says it's just a bunch of rich kids playing at night. But I'm like, yeah, but this is happening all over, certainly America. And it was happening in the UK. Now people are saying it's happening all over the world. I don't know how much of that's hyperbole and how much of that is the same thing. But if it's happening all over the world and not just in sort of allied countries, then maybe it's something different. Then maybe it's not the nuke. Competing corporations testing their tech. Yeah, but you don't think if this was 5 different corporations testing tech, you don't think the government would be read in and go like, hey, fellas, Filettis, we've gotten the rights from the FAA, and the FAA is going to tell us, when we can test, and they'll let the media know. Don't alert the people. Don't scare people. It's weird. Yeah, but that's weird too. Sandman says, I don't know. I think it's probably someone spying on the US. Okay, then why aren't we shooting them down? Right? I like this theory, says K-Nubs. The world government is testing to see how we will react, to see if we're ready to reveal actual aliens. Well, okay, then show us something that don't look like drones, right? I mean, these are fucking drones. So, all right. Anyway, it'll be what it is. Hopefully we'll get some more information very soon. I think that's going to wrap it for today's Jaffe stream. It's getting late, and I want to prep the Gavin and Games for the afternoon. So Let me bring in Alex as the last caller, and then I will say goodbye, and then I'll be back in a couple hours with a proper pure video game stream. Somebody is saying Intergalactic the story is leaked. I hope I don't read it. I don't want to read it. I'm looking forward to that game. I think it looks really cool, and it has a great pedigree behind it, great budget behind it. What's not to love? All right, Alex, it's Jaffe. You have the last word. I don't know about that, but you're on.
I'm on.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, I want to ask you. I was watching Prometheus last night,
I love that
and I
movie.
know you love it, right? Uh,
Mm.
I noticed that when I was watching it for the fifth time, I see that they on the wall they put a sign that there was some kind of the same DNA of as human. Other people came from I don't know, from space,
Mm-hmm.
but they told us where to go, how to find them. But let's say when the ship went there, it just turned sideways, the whole thing, because they killed them, right? Do you believe in this stuff? Is it
What
real?
in the
Can it be
fuck are
real?
you? Wait, what are you talking about? The movie Prometheus.
Yes. What
It,
happens? They show you the
I
sign where they are, right? The location.
it refreshed my memory, but as I recall, the beginning of Prometheus was this woman gets pulled in to go on this mission, and they've discovered like maybe that something like that, and then they go to this
Yes.
planet, and
Yes.
that's the planet, I guess, where the creatures that planted us were, which is the dude at the beginning of the movie. But there's also aliens there or something, right? I mean, that's kind of
Yes,
what it's about.
and the manager who organized this mission, he wants to know the truth of why we exist, right?
Okay, so what are you asking me?
Before he dies, he wants to see the alien. He wants to talk to them. I'm asking you, is it possible that this is real, that we had some kind of human DNA come to Earth?
I absolutely think that is more probable. I don't know if it's the answer, but I absolutely think that it is more probable that we were somehow seeded or put here by someone, something else like an alien society. Do I believe it? I don't fucking know. But it's more probable than the stories we've got so far. Yeah.
Yeah, but but if it's, let's say if it's true, this could be the end of religion. This could be a disaster.
Cool. Why
What do you
would it
mean?
be the end? But why would it even be the end of religion? Right. I mean, religion has shown a disturbing ability to consistently evolve and change as new information comes out, right? So
Mhm.
there's a lot of stuff that is no longer relevant in terms, unless you are like evangelical, that the Bible says that we're like, well, that's not really what it means, or we're not really doing that. So, but there, what there is a psychological term. I think it's called like ontological shock. Maybe that I'm saying it wrong, but
Mhm.
that says when you encounter something that is so fundamentally outside of what you perceive as reality,
Mhm.
a lot of people lose their shit. And there's definitely, to me,
Mhm.
a real, for a lot of people, a fear of that, which is like,
Mhm.
maybe that's one of the reasons people keep a lot of this shit secret. I have no idea, but
Mhm.
I don't have any evidence to suggest the Prometheus story is accurate. But I do
Mhm.
think you can look at things like ancient cave paintings and read things with a certain
Mhm.
eye and go, maybe there is something to it, but there's not a lot of evidence to suggest that, but we have no idea is what I would say.
These movies, they give you they make you think, you know what I mean? It's all
I
about.
love them. I love them. I love those movies.
Jaffe, one thing you have to know about me, I'm strong on religion, but I have an open mind, you know what I mean?
I
That's
don't
why I seek. That's
Yeah,
why I
you
ask
got, that's
these
why I
questions.
seek too. I always am seeking. I'm,
But I don't
like I
know
said,
what's the point of Ember. He comes very strong on you. He
I
does
think
not
he's one of
seek.
the guys that likes to argue and debate, and I know that type of person, but I would suggest he gets his own podcast, because fundamentally he's only as valuable to me as he is to the audience. And I get it. He wants to fight and he wants to argue, and the
Hmm.
minute he and I had a conversation the other day, not 10 minutes later, that's,
Hmm.
I'm exaggerating,
He
but not a
doesn't know
day,
how to approach people.
not a day later, he had it clipped and up on the internet.
Oh my
Um,
God, are you serious?
Yeah, and he tweeted it to somebody who's bigger than him and bigger than me. Like, I don't know, he hoped it would go viral or something. And I'm just like, which is fine. You got hustle, baby, get it done.
Yes,
But
but
I'm
that's
just,
not the way to approach a person with the religion. If you don't have facts, you cannot approach a person and make him you believe what he says. I mean, you have to have evidence, right?
you
Like you
don't
tell
have to
me,
for some people, but I need evidence. I'm not going to buy it.
Like I can't talk to you about God and I don't have any evidence. I can talk to you about God in a way what's written in the books that you have seen, but I cannot make it
Yeah. Yeah.
assign to you.
And if God came to me 5 minutes after I end this stream and says, "Hey, it's all real," I go, "Oh, okay, cool. My bad. Not even my bad. I didn't do anything wrong." I'm like, "Look, you've given me a brain. This is what I've done with my brain. You know, blame the guy who made it if you're real, because this is sort of how I've been able to process life and get by and survive and have the best time I can." So, but I'm not opposed to it being real, other than God does sound like a nightmare. I mean, people talk about, oh, when you die, if you do it all right, you get to go to heaven and sit at the foot of God. I'm like, he sounds like an asshole. I mean, seriously, imagine your eternity sitting at the foot of someone that only likes you if you tell him exactly what he wants to hear. The fuck would I want that for?
Oh, okay.
You know,
That's good. That's a good way of putting it.
you goddamn right. All right,
All right.
Alex, I'll see you soon, buddy.
Peace.
All right. I was wrong. The last call today is Mabooty. Mabooty, aka Matt Booty. Matt Booty, where'd you go? He was on, then he was gone. Critically says Jaffe thinks he's so original. He is like every progressive Jew on religion. Oh, is it that you don't like the Jews, critical realist? Is that what it is? First off, I'm not Jewish, but for the sake of this discussion, let's just say I am. Let's say I'm the Jewiest Jew you know. What problem do you have with the Jews, sir? Because I'm getting kind of annoyed with all these people fucking having problems with Jewish people and Muslim people. You've been sold a lie of horse shit. Jews are just people. Trust me, if we controlled the media, I'd have more than 200 people watching this fucking stream right now. If we controlled the media, Drawn to Death would have been a huge fucking hit. I assure you. My power as a kid growing up wouldn't have been shut off because my dad couldn't afford it. I assure you. The Jews don't control the media, control the money. There may be people who happen to be Jewish that do all those things, but it ain't the Jews proper. So get it right. Oh, shut up. Critical realist, you're a more. This is what I hate the most about people who argue like this. He literally, you've said nothing. He says, I'm just telling you how it is. And you know that at David Jaffe. There's nothing about what you wrote that is convincing anyone of anything other than you don't actually have any data to back anything up. Say something. Say something interesting, God damn it. Let's see if Mabooty's going to stay on. Mabooty, how are you, bud?
Good.
What's
Hello.
up? How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. How you doing? How you doing?
I am great. What do you want to talk about?
Awesome. Awesome. I'm a little stressed because first my English is not so good, and I don't know. I've been thinking about coming on the show a lot. I just have a little anxiety.
Take a breath. Don't. Take. You and I take deep. Let's take a deep breath. Here we go.
Yeah. Sorry. Nothing. I just wanted to show you a little bit of my stuff, and I do sculptures. Do you want to see my sculptures?
I don't know what the answer should be to that, but sure. Yes.
How fucked up a sculpture could be that you?
I'm worried that your English isn't so good, and sculpture is your word for penis.
No.
Okay, then yes. Then show us your sculpture. What do you got, baby?
I'm showing you. Can I turn the camera? How can I turn the camera on this?
I mean, is your sculpture big?
How about?
I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's your camera.
Can you see it?
Oh, there we go. There we go. So that's
I'm a big
amazing.
fan of King Kong.
You goddamn right. Oh my, hey. Oh, call back. That was great, man. That was a fantastic sculpture. Yeah, sculpt me like one of your French girls, Jack. That's right. That was fantastic. Come back. All Jews have this disposition about religion. TJ Kirk, I don't know who that is. Howard Stern, I know who that is. Bill Maher, he's half Jewish, but every single progressive Jew, great. Then that's great. What's your point? Okay. I mean, this is what I believe. I don't know what else to tell you. But if that makes me a progressive Jew, sweet. I don't get it. I don't get your point. That was really good, Mabooty. That was good stuff, baby. Come on now. All right, look. I'll see if he's back. I'm going to try one more time. Let's Mabooty. All right. Well, look, if it doesn't work this time, oh, there you go. We'll try one more time. The King Kong looked great. Looked excellent. You there? Yeah, we're getting, okay. So Mabudi, here's what I'll tell you. We're getting really bad connection. That's what's causing the problem. So it's on your end. So if you want to fix that and call back on the next proper Jaffe stream tomorrow, I'd love to show off some of your sculptures. Those were great. Those are fucking great, man. I really, really like that King Kong. I love King Kong as well. Why are people hating on the Jews? I don't know, Anthony, because it's the thing to do. It's what the people like to do. Jonas says close to 99% of agnostic people have that attitude towards religion. Yeah, I don't care about religion, baby. I don't care. I don't care. Go enjoy your religion. Leave people alone with it, though. Nobody gives a fuck. Yeah, David says, can Mabudi send in some pictures? Send them that way. I'll look at them on tomorrow's show. Absolutely. Okay, so listen, coming up in about 3 hours, give me a little time to prep. So we're probably looking realistically 4:30, 4:45. Hope to get to it before 5. We will start Gabbing and Games, talking about the news of the day in the world of the video games. So if you got calls on that or you like talking purely about the games, that's what that show is all about. In the meantime, seriously, let's not be morons here. Consider membership, consider liking the show, sharing it with your friends, subscribing. Because Gabbing and Games, you got to be a subscriber to talk. This is like shoot the shit chat, but you got to be over there. You got to be committed, not financially, just with your time. But in the meantime, standard progressive Jew, and that explains a lot. Cool. You sound like an asshole, and that explains a lot. But okay. In the meantime, though, seriously, thank you guys. Who was that? I want to make sure I give props to that chat that I think we just got through the thing. What did we get? We got James Keno. He's been a member for 1 month. He says, people forgot the rough and tough Jaffe and the Sweet Tooth commercial with the machine gun back in the day. Legendary. You goddamn right, James Keno. You goddamn right. They don't understand. And Fox Jupy, thank you for the super chat, buddy. I really appreciate that as well. Thank you for supporting the show. Okay. My delightful friends, be well, be safe, and I will see you on a future show, maybe even this afternoon. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Consider membership. See you soon. Bye, you guys.